Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, listen up. You could go listen to the same old boring radio. You know, the same 5 songs 50 million times a day. You could zone out to your favorite MP3 till can't get that ringing out of my head. I'm sure you heard all the drone podcast mumbo jumbo. I'm here to do my radio show. Don't you deserve more for your hard-earned money? On Teal Time Radio, you get entertainment value. We take pride in our shows and don't release junk you won't find anywhere else. So if you're a die-hard Jags fan like me, or a reality TV nut like my old lady, or a non-stop gamer like my son, you want the best entertainment your money can buy. Heck yeah! So give us a chance. We will make you laugh yourself right off your chair. And isn't that what life is about? Having a good time, listening to something you love. So sit back, relax, and have a cold one. And be sure to join us on Teal Time Radio, the only Wizard Media podcast app that really knocks your socks off. New stuff added nearly every day. Check back often. Guaranteed you won't find more content anywhere for under $2.
Welcome to Teal Time Radio with your host, CT Jags, alongside of me, the beautiful Miss Chrissy.
Hey, everybody, how's it going tonight?
And first off, I want to apologize to the fans. Our mic or phone, whatever you want to call it, shit the bed last night, and we had to get a new one. Our wire was all messed up and everything, and I do apologize.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
But anyway, okay, I think it was a blessing in disguise because I think that, you know, it became an issue of it was getting too...
drone, the same old.
Yeah, the drone, the same old. And that's not the way we are. We're not like that at all. And we really just wanted to talk about the actual show.
Yes, exactly.
And our opinions on the show. Because everybody's just about seeing it. If you haven't gone to see the issue, yeah, okay.
Are you still asleep, honey? I think you're back in bed again.
Yeah, well, maybe I am. Maybe I'm a little crazy. Crazy for Lizard Lake. Crazy for Teal Time Radio.
Love that Teal Time Radio.
Exactly. So, you know, the whole thing about it is if you haven't seen last Monday's episode, go ahead. Check it out. I'm sure you can find a rerun somewhere. I'm sure somebody got some posted on YouTube or somewhere. And I know there's some people that, you know, listen and download our shows to hear, you know, what happened exactly. But if you really want to hear, you know, we're not trying to cut into somebody else's money or anything of that sort.
Oh, no, definitely not.
They work hard, and we're just, you know, fans like everybody else. We just happen to have a radio show.
Exactly.
So here we go. We're going to start off this discussion. And... okay, if there's anybody listening and you'd like to get on the air after our first segment, please feel free to guest call in at 917-889-7873. Once again, it's 917-889-7873. But for now, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes.
Yes, we are. But we'd still love to hear from you.
Exactly. All right, in the first segment, we're going to talk about, all right, the show starts off and a little recap. Let's go here. Let's do this real fast. Ronnie and Amy met Cassie because Ronnie was messing around with Cassie in the other room.
With Cassie in the other room? Wait a minute. You mean him and Amy, you mean? We're in
I mean Bobby. Bobby and Cassie were messing around.
Yes, thank you. And Ronnie happened to be in the office and happened to see it on camera that he was over there kissing Cassie. They're like, who's that? So they went out to find out who it was, and they met Cassie.
Exactly. All right, and, you know, from there, you know, they end up going to an amusement park, and they end up, you know, doing some other crazy things. But start the segment today, we're going to talk about what exactly happened, how, things got out of hand right away at the lick.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to say this. We're going to say, I'm going to let her give her opinion first, and then I'm going to give my opinion. And we're going to go and say that in the beginning of the show, Amy was being a little nosy and went over, to talk to Cassie, because originally she seen, Cassie over at the Italian restaurant as she was walking to go get her dog a treat, which we'll talk about later.
Yep. And, of course, when she saw Cassie, she decided to take a picture and butt her nose in basically where she wasn't supposed to. But, honestly, I can't blame Amy, because I could see the part where she's looking out for her friend. But, no, she shouldn't have butt her nose in, because, that was Bobby's business. But, like I said, I can understand it from a friend's point of view.
All right, so basically what happened, Amy went over to Cassie's house, and they had a little tiff, and it didn't work out the way that
Amy had hoped.
Yeah, exactly. So go ahead and tell them what you think of that whole situation.
Well, I think Cassie didn't quite handle it the way she could have. She could have handled it a little more ladylike. Amy went over there. Amy was being very ladylike. Amy was being very soft-spoken, and she was talking, and she was like, look, this is what I saw.
Wait a second. Amy didn't belong going there to begin with.
No, maybe she didn't, but you know what? She was looking out for Bobby, and hopefully if Bobby's listening, hopefully he knows they were doing it. They had his best interest at heart, and, they were just being good friends.
Best interest. They didn't have his best interest at heart.
Yes, they did. No. Amy loves Bobby like family, and so does Ronnie. And I think they were just looking at it like, well, actually not they. Amy was looking at it like that's like a brother to her.
But she wasn't overthinking, but she was overthinking the situation because, to her it's helping out. But in Bobby's point of view, I'm going to talk from a guy's point of view.
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Bobby, is thinking, okay, later when he finds out that, that she talked to Cassie after she's not returning his text and whatnot, he's thinking that, for one, he thought he did something wrong. For two, he's now thinking, well, can I trust these people? This is my business and everything. And now she may think that I went and I had people talk for her.
Right. Talk to her for him.
Exactly. And they don't have no business involved in my love life. That has nothing to do with Lizard Lick.
He still shouldn't have got mad at Ronnie. That wasn't Ronnie's fault. And I seriously think he ought to apologize to Ronnie. If you want to be mad at Amy, that's one thing, because Amy went over there when she wasn't supposed to, but Ronnie had nothing to even do with the whole thing.
Now, why would he be mad at Ronnie? We haven't explained that.
Because of the whole thing with Cassie.
Okay, so they had a tiff as well. Okay, well, that could be something we could talk about in a little while.
Okay. What shall we discuss now?
I want to continue discussing that. I want to say that, though they were looking out as friends, sometimes just because you're a friend, you have no right to be in somebody else's love life.
Yes, that's true. I wouldn't want somebody in my love life, and that's why I don't get involved in other people's love lives. I stay out of that department. Oh, no.
But you know what? Last night you were, and if people were listening, they'll say the same thing. You were all gung-ho about what Amy did. So I want to know your side of the story.
Well, I looked at it this way. I was sticking up for Amy because I could see where Amy was coming from a female's point of view. Females are softer-hearted than guys. Guys are tough and rugged and blah, blah, blah. But women are soft-hearted, and, yeah, we do tend to feel bad when we see something bad happening to some of our friends.
So you're saying Amy's a wuss?
No, I'm saying Amy was soft-hearted, meaning if we see one of our friends going to get hurt, we feel bad, and we're like, oh, no, let's try to help them. Let's try to stop it before it happens.
Oh, so to avoid the confrontation.
Yeah, she was trying to avoid Bobby getting hurt. So she thought she was helping the situation.
She had no business to do what she did. None.
Well, like I said, women have a different kind of heart than a guy. A guy, it's, you know what, that's their business, I'm staying out of it.
He found her cute. He might have just been trying to get him some and everything else, and then she just ruined that.
Nah, I don't think so. And for all we know, this guy could be somebody that's a family member or a good friend. We don't know. Maybe the girl has kids. We don't know what goes on in Cassie's personal life. Maybe Cassie has children. Maybe that's the father of her kids. And maybe she was talking to him about something about her kids, if she's got any. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what the whole story was. But we do know that Cassie got very, very upset and very defensive, which could mean that she was hiding something, but could mean that she was in a situation that she could be stuck. And maybe Bobby thought, well, even after hearing this news, that, well, if I had the chance, maybe I could, sway her to come with me and save the day.
Right. Not only that, but the way Bobby looked at it, too, was Bobby looked at it could have been something innocent. And you just blew something innocent out of something that was super, super innocent to something super, explosive.
All right, so let's just move on from that for a minute.
Okay.
And we'll talk about the Ronnie-Bobby confrontation later in the show. And let's go over to talk about some repos. First repo I want to talk about was in the previous show where they went to repo this van. It happened to be a beauty pageant.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Now, what was your views on that?
Well, when they went to do this repo, it was kind of funny because Bobby walked in and he acted like just some person off the street. Hey girls, how you doing? Oh, you're the beauty pageant little girls. Oh, you're beautiful. Go about your day. Is Mr. So-and-so there? What was the guy's name?
I don't know.
I don't either. But anyways, they asked for the guy. Bobby asked for the guy, and one of the mothers said, oh, he's not here yet. So Bobby said, okay, thank you. Have a good day. And he basically left. So he's standing outside, and he tells Ronnie he's not here yet. So when Bobby hears this, Bobby says, well, what do you want to do now, Ronnie? Ronnie said, what do you want to do now, Bobby? Sorry about that, guys. And he said, well, I don't know. And then, of course, what pulls in? The white van that they came to repo.
Yep.
And when they went to repo this van, all the mothers and the kids came out and started beating up on Bobby.
All right, so now that we're at the meat and potatoes of that situation.
Yep.
As a mother, if we were in that situation, how would you feel and you had all them kids to look at? Do you think the mother handled it the correct way, even though the guy evidently screwed up?
No, because the guy screwed up, not Bobby and Ronnie. Bobby and Ronnie were doing their job. She should have been mad at the guy.
Yes, but I'll tell you one thing. When it comes to kids, parents do have an overreaction, and that was a huge, beauty pageant, and I can understand where the mothers are coming from because that's all them kids and the trophies for the kids.
I can understand that, too. Being a mother, I can understand that because, you know what, I wouldn't want to see my kid disappointed for anything. You know how we feel about our son. So, to see him disappointed, I would not want to see that. So, I can understand where the mothers are coming from.
Yeah, and I can, I can relate to them.
Especially if a kid's looking forward to something.
Yeah, imagine how many heartbroken kids there were.
Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
Because they didn't get their trophies and whatnot. And, they're just trophies to us, but to kids...
Yeah, it's like $1 million to them because it means the whole world to them. But the mother still didn't have to handle it the way she did. She acted like, I don't know what. I don't want to say it on air because it's not nice. She acted like a jerk by screaming and yelling and setting a bad example for those kids. Yes, I understand you're upset, but there's always a way to handle it.
But you know what? It was a spur of the moment. It's easy to say that,
That's
she
true.
acted that way. But if you're in that position, then that's different. And I'm not saying what they did was wrong. They
Right.
have a job to do, and they have to do their job.
Exactly. But that man should have done his job and paid for that van, and Bobby and Ronnie wouldn't have been there.
You got a point there. So we're going to go on to the other crazy one. We're going to fast forward to this show, and we're going to say that they had a repo at a punk rock concert.
Oh, that was crazy.
You know, they go to the punk rock concert, but I wonder, what were they thinking? No disrespect, but you don't go in with just you
Two guys,
I
yeah.
don't care if Amy stated, you know, that everybody's going to be in the club. Somebody's watching the van.
Of course, always. Well, I've gone to a lot of concerts when I was younger. There was always somebody outside watching the instruments, you know, or watching the van or watching the whatever. But you know what? I mean, I would have had Ronnie, Bobby, Juicy. I would have had Crazy Dave.
And definitely a state trooper.
I would have had Amy. I would have had a state trooper waiting nearby, real close nearby.
This is a punk rock band. If you've never been to a punk rock concert before,
I never have, but I know they're crazy.
they don't care about the government.
They don't care about nothing.
Nothing except for their band and who they're going to see and their people. And if you invade their space, you're going to get your ace handed to
kicked,
you.
Yep.
Ace handed to you.
Yeah, you'll get your ace handed to you,
And
all right.
that was the first time that I've seen, you know, Ronnie and Bobby get their ace, you know, handed to them.
Yeah, because Bobby can usually handle himself. So can Ronnie. They're not wimps by any means. Neither one of them. But yeah, they really did.
They're two big dudes, but you're going against hundreds of people.
Hundreds of guys, yeah. Or people, I should say, sorry.
You know, guys, girls, whatever, and they don't care.
Nope.
Think about it. You're at a concert, and somebody is taking the bands that you're going to see, van. How do you react? I'm going outside to fight.
Oh, yeah. You're going to defend your favorite band.
Exactly. You're defending what you like and everything. And if anyone disagrees with that or would like to, you know, add to that, you're welcome to give a call, 917-889-7873. But I don't know if anybody's even listening. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's late.
Some crazy people like us, but it's all good. Phone lines are open and everything, and if nobody comes on, I'm gonna make some calls or make a call.
Yeah, there you go.
Make something interesting. But the whole situation was, I don't know what they were thinking, because what ends up happening is they both end up going to the hospital.
Yep, they got beat up pretty bad, both of them. Ronnie had his head cut up, and his face, well, actually not his head, his face and his forehead cut up.
And if you want to know how, we watched the episode.
Yeah, exactly. And Bobby ended up cutting his leg. And like I said, you want to know how, you got to watch the episode.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. But it's a great show. I mean, you get watching one episode and that's it, you're hooked.
Exactly. And I mean, it's a little, I would say it's a little extended from what actually happens during repos, but they have to do that because it's TV. You have to have ratings.
Oh, yeah, of course. But you got to realize, too, that was an unusual repo.
Yeah.
They don't normally do those kind of repos.
It was an unusual situation.
Exactly. So unusual situations usually end up with unusual accidents or unusual problems.
So going on from that, we're going to rewind a little bit, and we're going to say, tell them the story about how they met their new dog.
Oh, okay. Somebody had brought in a repo of one of the cars, and Ronnie had pulled into the lot, and sees Crazy Dave working on the truck. So he stops to talk to Crazy Dave, and he hears something like a dog whining. So he says to Crazy Dave, "Do you hear that?" Crazy Dave goes, "Yeah, I thought I'd been hearing a dog. I was looking for it all over. I couldn't find no dog." So Ronnie goes, "Okay, come on, let's go look." So as they're looking at all the vehicles, nothing. Finally, they go over to this car that had just been repoed in. And there's a dog sitting there. A beautiful dog. It looked like it was a Shar-Pei. That's a very expensive dog.
Exactly.
If you don't know anything about Shar-Peis. Anyways, so Ronnie opens the door, and this dog starts barking. And Ronnie says, it's okay. And he sits down in the car and starts petting the dog. And he absolutely thinks the dog's adorable. And it reminds him of his dog that had just died.
Very true.
Repo, as a matter of fact, was his dog's name. And he said, the crazy Dave, I miss Repo.
And you know what it's like to lose an animal.
Oh, yes, I do.
Why don't you talk a little about what happened to us?
Oh, okay. Last year around Christmas, our female bunny died. She died right in my arms. It was the saddest thing.
Did you hit the button by accident?
No, I'm not even touching the button. No, it's green on this end.
Okay.
Should I turn this off? Anyways, yeah, so Marshmallow died in my arms, and she was a very sweet bunny. She was a female bunny, and she was very sweet, and we loved her very much. But, there was nothing we could do for her. We think she had cancer, and nobody ever knew it. So, it was a very sad thing to have lost her. But then, about a month later, not even a couple weeks later, my mother decides, well, I'm going to get Nick a new bunny rabbit, which is our son. So, she takes us to the bunny rescue, and we get a brand new bunny, which is our male bunny, Jackson, named after the Jacksonville Jaguars, spelt like Jackson, our mascot, Jackson. He's a beautiful, very happy, lovable, sweet bunny. And we enjoy having him. We enjoy every day with him. He's just a good bunny. We wouldn't trade him for the world. So, anyways, Ronnie, after he tells Crazy Dave about missing his dog, Crazy Dave says to him, Ronnie, maybe it's about time you get another dog. Ronnie says, no, man, it's too early. It's too soon. So the day goes on, and he goes into the office, and he talks to Amy, and he tells Amy, somebody left a dog in one of the cars that was just repoed in. She says, what? Yeah. Somebody left a dog in the car. She's like, that's crazy. And so he's telling her about the dog and everything. Go ahead, babe. What do you have to say about that?
I've got to say, that's just a crazy situation and whatnot.
Yeah, it was a very sad situation to have happen. That he lost his dog, but,
One you wouldn't want to happen anywhere.
No, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So, of course, like I said, Crazy Dave was trying to talk him into keeping the dog because, he thought it would be good for Ronnie and his wife and the kids. So, he was just doing everything he could to try to, convince them. And then Amy asks him about keeping the dog when he goes in the office and tells her about it. And he's hemming and hawing. He's like, it's really still too soon, Amy. We're not ready. We're just not ready yet. So, Amy, she's like, come on, it's really, time. I think we should get another dog. The kids would love it. So Ronnie's like, he just was like, no, we got to find the owner. We've got to find the owner. We've got to find the owner. So he's got Crazy Dave looking for the owner of the dog. They find the owner of the car, and the owner of the car claims that there's supposed to be no dog in the car. They don't know who the dog belongs to. Well, if you don't know where the dog came from, then how did this dog get in your car? That's just crazy. How do you do that? That's just nuts.
Yeah, exactly. So, that is a crazy situation. But, what everybody wants to hear is about the whole tiff of, Ronnie and Bobby going at it because they're friends.
Yeah. Because, like I said, how can Bobby blame Ronnie when Ronnie had no idea what had happened? Because Amy didn't tell him right away what she had done.
He learned, and he did go over to the barbecue truck, which I was wondering what was going on, because it was absolutely crazy, that he went over to the barbecue truck, and I was wondering where the barbecue truck was. That's what the whole thing was. For a whole episode, you didn't even see the barbecue truck.
It was actually a couple episodes, I think, where you didn't see the barbecue truck. Yeah, that was kind of strange.
I think they sold it or something.
Me too. I was like, did it get junked? Did it get sold? Did it just not run? What happened? It was just the craziest situation. So I don't know. But thankfully, of course, then they showed the barbecue truck again, and we were happy to know that the barbecue truck was back.
Exactly. But the whole issue that was at hand was that, these are two friends,
Right.
And to see Bobby react the way he did, but I understood why he had reacted that way.
Right.
In his eyes, Ronnie should have told Amy, which he tried to butt out, to stay out of the business.
Right. But Ronnie needs to also know that Bobby needs to know that Ronnie also didn't know right away what the situation was and what had happened.
No reason to be in it.
Right.
No reason whatsoever.
And when he did find out, yes, he did try to tell her, Amy, you need to mind your own business.
You need to mind your own business. You need to stay out of
Bobby's life, yeah.
Period.
That's why, like I said, I don't get involved in people's love lives.
Yeah, sometimes there's no point in it.
So, people try to, ask me, well, what do I do in this situation? What do I do in that situation? I'm like, I don't know. That's a hard situation. It's basically all I say, because I don't know what else to say. So, it's a tough situation. And then we go from Ronnie and Bobby's fight. What was the next part, honey? After the fight, we want to get to the next segment.
That's how it ended the show, baby.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right. Yes, it did. Boy, I must be still asleep. I guess my brain went to sleep a little early tonight.
Please disregard us. We're having technical issues once again. I don't know if somebody's trying to sabotage our show or what's going on, but we're trying our best to get everything up and running. So if you're trying to call or actually a part of the show, don't worry, we're going to fix it.
Yes, we're very sorry for the problems. I don't know what is going on, why this thing's having technical difficulties. Now it's the computer not wanting to behave itself.
So, it keeps turning it on and turning it off, but, the show must go on, and we're going to, we're talking about different things.
Exactly.
What was another repo that we've seen that was outrageous, would you say?
Outrageous? Let me see.
You know what? No, forget about that. I want to talk about, Ronnie and Bobby's situation. I want to say that, if they're listening, which I highly doubt it.
You never know.
Y'all need to continue as friends. Y'all need to let bygones be bygones, and I really hope that, Bobby shows up back at the lick.
I do too. Come on,
if
if you're listening, Bobby, you know what? You need to make up with Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ronnie didn't have anything to do with it. He didn't know about it at first, and when he did, he told Amy to mind her own business. But Amy, like I said, having a good heart and trying to be a good friend, I seriously think Amy loves you like a brother and considers you like a brother.
Well, she still had no business
No, she didn't, but you know what? She was trying to be a sister to him.
Because any woman would automatically think that the dude put her up to it.
That's very true. I can understand where, from the other point of view, I could definitely see where she's coming from. I mean, if that was me in that situation, yeah, I would think that, that my boyfriend put this girl up to doing that if that was me. So, I mean, I can understand that point of view, but, like I said, Amy's got a good heart. She seems like she's a really nice person. She seems very sweet, and I think her heart was in the right place. But, she did the wrong thing. It was a mistake. What are you going to do, But, hey, Ronnie, if you do happen to listen to this, I hope you and Bobby do make up, because, Bobby, it really wasn't Ronnie's fault. And, I think you kind of should apologize to Ronnie because it wasn't him. He did tell Amy to mind her own business. When he did find out, he did not know right away what happened.
She shouldn't have done that, period. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, if there's any ladies listening, if you're going to do something like that, at least go out with the chick and have a casual conversation and ask what's going on. Just don't accuse somebody because you don't know the whole situation.
Right. I mean, what she could have done was she could have invited her out for coffee and sat down and talked to her, said, hey, Cassie, what's new? What's been going on? Hey, and just talk to her, And you got any problems, anything going on in your life you need someone to talk to, you can always come to me or something to that situation, to that extent, that, the girl would feel comfortable coming to Amy.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just go around accusing people of
doing something, yeah. You know what? When you accuse somebody once told me that if you keep accusing somebody of something and accusing them, they're going to end up doing what you're accusing them of.
Exactly. And, the whole thing about it is the last two shows have been phenomenal. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, they have.
But, Bobby's had such bad luck to begin with females.
He has.
He's automatically going to assume that Amy and Ronnie don't like whoever he's with.
Right, because
they're always blaming them for his problems when it takes two to tango.
Exactly. Well, not only that, but they always seem to manage to get into Bobby's business. So I can understand where Bobby's getting a little aggravated with them about it.
I'd get aggravated. I'd be like, enough is enough. Get out of my business.
That's true. I wouldn't want his friends in our business, and he wouldn't want my friends in, our business either, It's just not right. It's between the couple. Leave it up to them. Let them handle it.
Exactly. And, the whole thing about it is this. Okay, it's one thing to, care for a friend and, to,
look out for them.
Look out. But it's another thing to just stick your nose where it don't belong. And just because he works for him doesn't necessarily mean that you have to...
That you got the right to butt in.
Exactly. You wouldn't want him to butt in your relationship if you were all having issues.
Exactly.
What if it were turned around and, Ronnie happened to be nonchalantly hanging out with somebody else, just that was an old friend.
Yeah. Or it could be somebody, you know what? What if Ronnie was at a restaurant sitting there talking to a female he went to maybe high school with? He may have, known at one point in his life when he was younger, like a kid or something, and ran back into them, and they're just sitting down talking about old times, And Bobby went back to Amy. Well, I saw Ronnie at a bar or at a restaurant or wherever with a girl. She had blonde hair or whatever.
Yeah, and they were hugging each other, but
Yeah.
they were old friends.
Exactly.
They took a picture, and Amy started spazzing out over nothing.
Right.
I've never seen Bobby do that, not once.
Exactly. I wouldn't like that, That's not a good situation to get into.
Exactly. It's not even, funny. I mean, no disrespect. I don't have any disrespect towards anyone.
No, I love Lizard Lick. I love the whole crew that works for Lizard Lick.
Okay,
they seem like a great bunch of people.
I will tell you something that I see happening. I see Juicy getting involved next.
Oh, boy.
She gets wind of it because Juicy has had a crush on Bobby forever.
Yeah, Juicy was very jealous.
And when Juicy met Cassie,
oh, boy.
She had some smart words to say to her.
Yep.
And she evidently doesn't like her for some reason.
Juicy doesn't like her because Juicy's jealous.
Maybe she's jealous, or maybe
she's jealous because she always liked Bobby, and she was like, well, Cassie's got what I want. That's not fair. Why should Cassie have what I want?
Yeah, I
hear
that.
I can understand from a girl's point of view.
I don't see why they don't ever try to hook Juicy up with somebody.
I know. Juicy seems like she should be such a nice person. She seems pretty cool.
I think she'd get along with, what's his name, Mike from South Beach Toe?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Mike from South Beach Toe. There you go.
I think his name's Mike.
I think so. Oh, that guy is funny. He's hilarious. He likes to hit on all the women. He is so funny.
Exactly, but he's into, bigger boned women, and that's why
and he likes them.
It would be funny if they ever had a cross brand of the two.
Oh, that would be definitely hysterical. Except the only problem is South Beach Toe. Cross Beach. Oh boy, South Beach Toe is in Florida. So if they could bring them from Florida to North Carolina.
Okay, well there's a trip somewhere.
Yeah, that would be cool. Or if for some reason Juicy goes down south and goes to Florida.
Exactly, and it would bring the two fan bases together too.
Yep, and it would make both shows a little more interesting. Because everybody wants to know what's going to happen between Juicy and Mike, or whatever his name is. Sorry, dude. I mean, you are cool. I love the show, South Beach Toe, which will be another show we could do. I think so. But he's funny as anything. Oh, yeah, I do too. This guy is funny as anything. He reminds me of a friend of my husband's. Just outgoing, sweet, funny,
But going back, I'm glad that they brought the barbecue truck back.
Me too. I was getting worried about that barbecue truck.
Yeah, after all the issues they had with it and it got stolen and everything else, I thought that, they just disappeared with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't know if it, like I said, I didn't know if it got junked. Maybe because it didn't work or they had a problem with it.
No, they might have a little bad reputation because of what went down, which if you didn't see it, be sure to catch the rerun somewhere.
Yeah, you've got to catch the reruns.
And see how Bobby handled a certain situation.
Exactly. It was a really good show. I mean, the shows have been excellent lately. They're very interesting. I love Lizard Lick. It's one of my favorite shows.
Since we have about 20 minutes left in the show, I figured, well, hey, let's dial somebody because this is Teal Time Radio and we like to do crazy things.
That's right.
And we're a little different than your average show. We're new, but we're not stupid.
No, and we're a lot of fun. We're more just about having fun and enjoying ourselves and you enjoying yourself.
And let me explain this. We ain't not saying that anyone else that does podcasts is garbage. We're not saying that by any means.
We're the type of people that we support all the podcasts. Not just ours, but we support the other ones too.
Exactly. But at the same time, if you don't think you're the best, then why are you here? Why are you doing what you do? If you're in the NFL and you don't think you can be a starter, you don't belong in the NFL.
Right. Or you know what? If you think something's not going right, then you know what? Find out where the mistake is and fix it.
But da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, okay.
We are not the Smurfs.
Yeah, I know that.
I am not blue, and I don't wear a white hat. My name is not Smurfette.
Here we go. We're going to dial somebody because I don't see the phone lines ringing up at 917-889-7873. So we're going to dial someone that probably has no idea what lizard lick is, but we're going to dial them just because.
Okay, let's see what they have to say about it.
Here we go. We're dialing.
Who are we calling?
Come on, pick up.
Hello.
Hello, let me speak to Poppy Red Hunter.
Hold on.
All right.
No problem. Here.
Hello.
Hey, Poppy Red Hunter, you're on the air with Chill Time Radio. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing great. How about the radio land?
We're doing great.
You know, we don't have many people on here calling in, but that's probably because it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and who's still up at 1 in the morning?
Exactly.
Crazy folks like us.
Exactly.
Yep, that's it, and the gamers.
So anyway,
That's right.
Lizard Lake Towing, and I know you didn't see the show because you probably were working, but here's the situation. Please explain to us if you were trying to get involved with somebody, okay?
Yep.
And we as best friends of yours, okay, happen to see that person that you were trying to get involved with another dude, but we don't know whether it was innocent or not.
Oh.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And let's say that Chrissy over here decides to go confront that girl without knowing the facts.
Right.
How would you react if you found out and she was no longer answering your text or anything, from a guy's point of view?
Well, if she answered my text, then that would be invasion of my privacy. I wouldn't answer a text of hers.
No. I didn't answer the text. I went over and confronted the girl, and when you tried texting the girl or calling her, she wouldn't answer your texts and she wouldn't answer your calls.
Now, what would you automatically assume? I think you would automatically assume, being that girl, you would be. I would be pissed because I would automatically think that the other girl thinks that I put her up to it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You're right. Now that would be a big no-no. You don't text her, don't call her, and just let her confront her about the situation. And if the situation is not is fine, then I mean, what else can we do?
Exactly.
Exactly.
But I mean, do you think as a guy that I would have any business poking my nose in to your love life between you and the girl you're trying to get with?
I don't think it's poking your nose in it. No.
You think it's just a friend looking out for a friend?
Yes, you're looking out for a good friend, and.
But you're saying you wouldn't get upset if the girl no longer wanted to talk to you on account of it?
No, I would not, because if that friend is, if she confronts her as a, you know what I mean, as my friend, and she's not doing too good, then I mean I wouldn't be mad at all. No, I wouldn't.
Because he'd be glad that I would.
I'll be glad that you helped me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I said.
And if that's not the right woman for me, then she needs to go on. She will.
But at first, you know that our tempers as guys do flare.
Right, they do.
Okay, and
right.
If you didn't know the whole story and you only heard a little bit and you decided to do whatever you were going to do,
right.
storm out or whatever, and
right.
then I tried to go confront you, I'm sure you'd be pissed at me even though I had nothing to do with it.
Yes, I would.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what ended up happening. Ronnie and Bobby ended up in a little tiff over the situation.
Because of what Amy did.
Really?
I think that he assumed also, Bobby assumed that Ronnie knew the whole time what was going on, and he didn't. And, he assumed that Ronnie had part in it, and Ronnie didn't, unfortunately.
Wow.
And I think Ronnie's just mad at the way that she went about it, that she just went and confronted her. If she went out with her and was, went out somewhere and, we're having a good time and talk to her about it, that's one thing. But when you just go assuming things without knowing the whole situation, that kind of...
Exactly.
From a guy's point of view, I mean, on my end, I'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Now that's unreal.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Now your opinion is a little, now that you know more of what happened.
Yep.
Yes. That pisses me off a little bit. But I'm glad I'm on the radio talking about a good story, a good show. I love this show.
You don't even know the name of the show.
Maybe he's half asleep. Leave him alone.
Yeah, we just called you out of the blue, so...
Yes, you did. And I'm on the spot, and I really don't know what to say.
There you go.
Well, you'll join us another time, right?
Yes, I will. If you call and put me on, I will join.
All right, man. We're gonna let you go. Do what you gotta do.
All right.
Play some Gears of War.
More than likely.
That sounds like a good thing in a little while. But right now we have 13 minutes left. Thank you for your time, Poppy Red Hunter.
Have a good night, Poppy Red Hunter.
All righty, and I appreciate the radio time. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Uh-huh.
All right, as you've seen, we just dialed somebody random. It was a random reaction that people would, give. Like I said, when you don't know the situation, it's easy to, as we just explained, it's easy to say that, somebody's looking out for a friend. But then when they're confronted like that, you see how a guy's opinion can change really quick. Tempers can flare and everything, and it just gets crazy. But, I mean, as far as the show, Lizard Lactoan, it's a fantastic show. If you haven't seen it, it is at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Monday night. And if you have seen it, I mean, your views and your opinions and everything. And like I said, we normally give reviews, but this time we said, you know what? People need to see this show. If they're, we can talk about the whole thing, but if we talk about the whole thing, then no one's going to be interested in watching it. They're not going to want to know what happens if we give a play-by-play. This isn't football.
Exactly. We want people to get interested and want to watch the show.
But we do Jags podcast, and during the draft, we will be live for a couple hours every night.
Yep.
Well, every night and day to do that, and talk about who the Jags draft and who the other people draft, and it would be fun. But for the Lizard Lake fan base that don't give a rat's arse about that.
Yep.
If you're fans of other shows such as Bar Rescue, we did do a review on that and whatnot.
Yes, we have to do another one on that again.
And anybody from Blog Talk Radio that if you're not like live listening to the show and you're just archiving it, please give us a listen, because at one point you were starting out too.
Right, and we'd love to hear from you. Like I said, it would be interesting to hear from the people to know what they think of the show, what they think of what happened.
Exactly. And about our radio show, basically, we gave statistics, I believe, last time.
Yeah.
So right now we've just went over 300. Okay, now to go from 50 to 300, that's 6 times the amount. Okay, and that's in 1 month. With no advertisements. Well, I did put us on a podcast directory Sunday.
That's just recently, yeah.
Yeah, recently, and that takes time to circulate and process and all that. You know, we're glad because Slacker Radio said, hey, we're going to play your podcast.
That's fantastic. We appreciate it.
The old Zoom Radio said we're going to play your podcast.
We appreciate it to you, too. We appreciate to all the people that are helping us.
You know, Double Twist said we're going to play your podcast.
Yes, we appreciate Double Twist, too.
iTunes is on. We're on iTunes. We're on Android.
Yes, we are. We're on a lot of different ones. We also got to give a thanks to Lisa for doing our beautiful, go ahead, hon.
Kick-ass logo.
Right.
Excuse my language, but I'm telling you, she spent a lot of time and invested a lot of work into it. And Lisa Bird-Mantell deserves so much credit.
She sure does. And she's a heck of a nice lady. She's a real nice lady. She works real hard to get to get it just the way you want it, so everything's fine.
Yeah, and in the future, and she don't charge an arm and a leg. That's the good part about it. You know, she could easily charge, hundreds and hundreds or thousands, to do logos, and she says, no, I was there at one point, and I know what it's like to start out and
want somebody to help me along.
Yeah, exactly, and people give me the finger, so I'm not going to turn around and do that to them.
Exactly.
And once we have her official name of her business, we'll post it on here.
We sure will.
Post it like we're bloggers.
Well, I think they know what we mean. Anyways, you'll have to check it out once we're able to post it up there, let everybody know what it is. Because, like I said, you should check out some of her artwork. She's very, very talented.
Exactly. She's extremely talented. And I just want to give a big shout-out, while we only have a few minutes left, we're down to 8 minutes, to Lipsing.
Definitely.
Because they're a heck of a, host. Nothing against Blueberry. We're also on Blueberry.
Yes, we are.
But we're just not getting the views we expected, being on Roku and everything else. It's kind of turning into, not as we planned. Not at all. I don't know if we're not getting the right advertising or what's going on. But I also want to give a shout-out to the Jags fan base.
Oh, definitely got to give a shout-out to our team. We love the Jags.
Exactly. And there's some people doing some heck of a job, like the Bold City Brigade. What they do is they're a huge group. They go out, and they're like a team teal. And they go out, and what they do is they, enroll people and show them how much fun it can be to be a fan, to actually have, season tickets and, go to different events and everything. And it's a kick-ass thing, and there should be more people like it doing that.
I agree, because, if we lived in Florida, boy, I would sure want to be part of their group, because that sounds fun.
And we also have a guy, his name's Craig Fordham. He does some blogging for us on our website, and he's a good friend of ours, and he's from Australia.
Yes, he does a fantastic job.
So, and I couldn't thank him enough. And even though this isn't a Jags, podcast, I want to say that if there are any Jags fans watching or listening in the archives later, that if you haven't checked them out, check out Minor Threads clothing, because
their clothing is beautiful. They have some nice stuff at a cheap price, and it's not cheap clothing either. It's nice clothing, nice quality clothing at a cheap price that you can afford that won't break your pocket.
Yeah, and it's like Sayings t-shirt, kind of like a Hot Topic, but like when Hot Topic started, not exactly Hot Topic now.
Yes, exactly.
Because when somebody starts out and then at some point they change, I don't know, due to corporate or due to whatever.
Or just fizzled, whatever it is, just fizzles down a little.
I'm proud that we're non-corporate radio and we could say whatever we damn well please, how we damn well want to, as long as we don't go into the realms of, too political or too, spiritual. We for the most part won't get messed with. So that's always, a good thing. And we're just not going to dwell into those areas because they're too touchy. There's plenty of people on Blog Talk Radio. Why am I saying cast? that do heck of a shows that talk about political and spiritual and all that, but we're not going there. We're this feel-good radio. We're the, just comedy, cool, collective, sit back, have a beer, have a Monster, just chill, smoke, whatever you do that you do to unwind, we're here to help you out. And I hope more people catch on because, it's 1 a.m. though, and it's not like the weekend. If it was on the weekend at 1 a.m., that's different.
Oh, yeah, 'cause everybody be at the bars and out hanging out with their,
but their
friends and stuff. But
they're either at work, getting ready for work, getting ready for the kids next day, or whatever the case may be.
That's why weekdays are hard,
Yeah, and exactly. And plus, not too many people know about us. We've been fortunate to get, quite a few downloads with, lack of advertising and everything.
Oh, yeah, and considering we're still brand new,
Yeah, and we're not going to pay some place like a Google ad search or something. We're just not going to do it. It's a waste of our time. It's a waste of our money. We're going to have a bunch of people clicking that are curious that in the sales business, just like Zig Ziglar says, if the person has no interest or no want, they're just not going to buy. They're not going to buy into your product unless they know everything about it, and you're not going to get that from a click.
Exactly.
You're just not. So anybody that's into Lizard Lake, we're going to be doing this. We're going to be trying to do this every Monday night after the show. We're going to be trying to do this right after Lizard Lake, so it's fresh on everybody's mind and everything.
Exactly. We don't want to forget anything or leave anything out.
Yeah, the latest. We'll hope to do it at 10:30. Well, they do the reruns at 10:30. So probably at 11 o'clock, 11:30, we plan on doing this every week. We'll be here every week doing different shows. And it's not just Lizard Lick. If you're into TNA wrestling, no disrespect to WWE fans, even though I think they suck. Not the fans, but the shows now. They've just gotten stale.
That's just because you're into TNA. That's your style.
Yeah, exactly. TNA is, my thing. And we have our show on Friday nights, which we're going to start, out of here as well. It's called Happy Hour. It's the hour show about absolutely nothing. It's like Seinfeld. We just make up stuff as we go along, and it's funny as heck. If you haven't seen it, you're welcome to go on chilltimeradio.com or on our lip sync, and just search for Chill Time Radio. And, just download it there. And it's a very cool radio show. But since we got a minute and 38 seconds, I'm going to talk about, I have some good friends. They happen to be admins of this great game, little people of, called GangsterBigHouse.com, which I've been a fan over 4 years. If you haven't been there, you should check it out.
You really should. It's a lot of fun. I played.
Exactly. It's the only game I know that you can talk crap, even though it's turn-based and it's not today's graphics.
Right.
It's the only game I know that you can have 2 accounts legally. Now, if you have more than that, you will get banned and they don't play. But you can have 2 accounts and do whatever you want with the account.
You can talk crap all you want to each other, back and forth, and nobody gets mad at anybody. It's just all in fun. Yeah,
exactly. It's just a blast to play. And also, I'm going to give a shout-out to the 2 new games that we just bought, other than Red Box.
Yep.
Gears of War Judgment, a heck of a game. I have tons of reviews and get some players from Gears of War to come on that I talked to on Xbox Live. And BioShock, that's another game we want to look at.
BioShock, I played today, and it was fun. I had a ball.
Exactly.
And I just got the game today.
And there's plenty more. Just keep posted and just keep coming on Blog Talk Radio. We're going to do a bunch of shows. Thank you for listening to Chill Time Radio. Good night, everyone.
Well,
what do you mean? We're done. I don't know why you say good night. You're worried about the end of the show. You always say good night.
I did.
No, you didn't.